Bobby.
Hello.
It's Friday.
It's
Happy Friday, good people.
Friday.
Happy
How's
Friday.
everybody?
It's Friday.
Hey, Babu, we seen your game came off the Chitlin circuit to join us. It's nice to see you there, Babu.
Yeah. We stopped for a minute.
Okay.
That's what's up. A pleasant surprise, Dana.
Well,
Thank you
glad to be seen. Glad to be
for
seen.
blessing us with your presence. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Is everybody reading the comments? Read the comments. My
This has
goodness.
just been an eventful week.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
Senator, we see that emblem in the back. We see you representing.
Yeah, I've been in Tallahassee for work for most of the week. So, I figured why not, film the show from the highest of Seven Hills
We see you, Avis.
since I'm here. So
Okay, I see Avis is seconding that motion up there. Avis is seconding that motion.
absolutely.
Well, Senator, since you're broadcasting, from a different location, and you say you've been putting in that work, I think if I heard you correctly. Can you enlighten us a little bit and fill us in? What's going down?
What isn't happening in Tallahassee, right? So
That's the question.
So I was up here because we're getting close to legislative session, and this is the home of the racist favorite governor, Ron DeSantis. So
call it what it is. Call it what it is.
Yeah. So we had to we had to pull up on him on Wednesday for a big press conference because for some reason he got beef with AP Black History.
And, what you say?
To say the least.
Yeah, to say the least. So me, some of the homies, you might know a couple of them,
Right.
Ben Crumpin them, you know what I'm saying? We had the Deltas, the AKAs.
Sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to squat up,
That's it. Had the Qs pull up on them, you know what I'm saying? We had the activists, had the pastors coming through as well.
Right.
So it was it was a good turnout, people are piping hot, that dude, he does not stop, like the Terminator of racism. He just keeps going and going and going. And so so this is just the newest thing. I mean, sure we're going to get into that plus a whole lot more, but we're really, as a community, we got to think about a strategy on how to make sure he doesn't take his road show on to the other 49 states,
Right.
and try to be somebody president, because he's really like let's be clear, why he's doing this is so he can get runs on Fox News, so he can get these interviews, so he can get out in front of all these national media folks and tell everybody why he's trying to stop wokeness and why he's trying to stop people from just living their best life, and hope that message spreads. And so we got to be careful.
Dwight, explain to us what that means, what he's doing by
allowing
that to pass.
What by you mean the AP American History and not letting it happen?
Correct.
So there's a couple of different ways to look at it, but for those of us, all of us here went through high school, and we know that high school offered advanced placement courses, which you could actually, at the end of the year, take a test and potentially gain college credit as a result of taking these courses. And so the College Board, which also happens to administer the SAT, in case people think the College Board is some sort of woke company that only does woke things. It's the same company that the SAT is administered through. It's the same company that does literally every other advanced placement subject matter that's out there. And so we offer a myriad of different advanced placement courses in Florida schools, but for some reason can't quite put my finger on it, except when I wipe my face and wash my hands why
Okay.
he picked Black History as the one that he you know, that he doesn't like. And of course, you know, he came back like a couple days later with like the most, you know, if you smelt the BS coming through the screen, it's because he just literally, you know, pulled an answer out of his butt to try and again incite more criticism and try to create division. You know, he picked literally one iota of a lesson out of the entire 79 pages of curriculum, and tried to say, well, this is the reason we had to shut it down because, you know, there's this one part about queer theory and we can't allow that in our schools. And it was just like, bro, like, and then the truth of the matter is when you look at that particular lesson, really what it talks about is the role of feminism in the movement. And, you know, I know when we think about that, we're like, well, who's he talking about? You know, figures like Angela Davis and Bell Hooks, and so many others that were critical in criticizing and writing about how government was treating Black people. And so even when he says that, you know, just ignore all the bluster because old boy is a problem.
So can you explain what happened as from the legal side? You know, was something filed? Did we, you know?
Well, this is why I gets down with Ben Crump, and everybody should get down with America's lawyer, Ben Crump, right? Because there's two things that we're probably going to talk about over the course of this show that Ben Crump is, you know, hands deep in, right? Literally this week, he is the attorney on record for the family of the brother who got beat in Memphis. Oh, he was literally already hands deep in that. Took time. Of course, he lives in Tallahassee, but somehow between managing that over the course of the last couple of weeks, was able to find plaintiffs to file a federal suit against Ron DeSantis. And it hasn't been filed yet, but what I love about it is he literally is like, he gave the man an ultimatum. I ain't seen nothing that cold at a press conference in a while, but he basically brought the plaintiffs up, which were 3 high school kids, and was like, you know, if you don't do something by February 1st, we're gonna have to do it to you. And it's like, I was like, you know, I need that kind of energy. I need that kind of energy from all of us to figure out what's the move. And the beauty of it is, there's already precedent that means that Ron DeSantis is going to have to back down because they tried a similar stunt in Arizona back in 2010 around Mexican American history.
Oh, okay.
And so
awesome.
And so, you know, Ron DeSantis is about to just drag this out, and of course he's going to try and like use this as a stump to get more racists around the country to get on board with his sort of ideology, but he's going to lose. And the crazy thing is he knows he's going to lose, but the even sadder part, and I brought this up on the show before, he's spending the church's money, he's spending our money to battle these lawsuits. And that's so whether you're Black, white, or anything else, that's why you need to be mad is, you know, he's about to spend millions of dollars to lose a lawsuit.
Yeah, that was actually going to be my next question, Dwight. I was going to ask, ultimately, do you see the legal ramifications being effective, or the legal proceedings being effective, as far as getting him to stand down and revoke this foolish theory that he's trying to perpetuate amongst not just the constituents and residents of Florida, but like you said, to use that kind of platform as a springboard into a national or presidential run in 2024 or 2000, whenever he plans to run. Do you think it's effective? Because initially when I saw it, I just felt like more needed to be done, and I wasn't sure what, because I don't, you know, I'm not running in those circles, and that's not my professional circle. But I was glad to see Ben Crump or somebody or a person of color who has a large legal platform call him out on his BS, and then in turn provoke action to do something about it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is a straightforward lawsuit. So not only is Ben Crump throwing down on the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, will be joining that effort. The plaintiffs, which are starting off as 3 high school students from Tallahassee, are dope. You know what I mean? Had a chance to meet all 3 of them while I was up here, which, Black and white students standing together. So a real show of solidarity.
That's
What
great.
ultimately happens with these lawsuits, though, is they're ultimately going to open it up for more plaintiffs. So if middle school, high school kids that want to show DeSantis who's boss, if and when it gets filed, that's going to be the next thing, is who else wants to add their name on as a plaintiff to kind of do it. Now, I'm not saying that everyone just jump on board, because to be a plaintiff means that you kind of open up your life. There's a level of scrutiny that comes with that, and kudos to their parents, because they were at the press conference too. Because the parents, this is going to impact their lives in some way, shape, or form. But they were courageous enough to do it, and I definitely think folks need to step up.
That's
Well,
great.
I think what here's the thing, back to what you just said, like opening up their lives. I mean, you invaded our life without us even asking.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you were in our lives without even asking.
Yeah.
And I,
as they say, all up in the Kool-Aid, but didn't know the flavor. Right?
you really are. You really are all in the mix. And here's the thing. I think the other side of it too, though, is like, hey, we are so you get concerned about what he may do or the power may give him. But I think the reality of it all is that we are in a time where this stuff it needs to change, and it's relevant, and it's affecting so many lives. Like my kids, even at 11 and 14, are listening and understanding more of this stuff. It's in our face.
Yeah.
It's in our face. It's in our kids' face. It's in our homes. It affects Florida. It affects United States of America, because where he's trying to go and try to run. And I just,
yeah.
And I think and back to, I think what I said last week, I really believe, I was raised in the military environment. So I had friends that were, from Vietnam, Hong Kong, white, black, green, yellow, so we really we had no boundaries on who our friends were. I really still believe that he's missing an opportunity to really get people to engage more versus divide. And so that's the part where, it's just like, hey, I'm not, at my age, I'm not trying to be right versus it being right. Mm-hmm. This is about righteousness.
Right.
Well, you got to understand, like, first off, he is who he is, right? Like, right. As to paraphrase Maya Angelou, believe him the first time, right? Like he's also a one-trick pony, in the sense that his philosophy, his belief system is that in every state in the country, there are enough people who have been sitting at home stewing over the idea that Black people are on TV or gay people are on TV or whatever, that are going to then come out, the woodwork and support this philosophy, which for us is a scary concept, because we laugh at like George Wallace, when he was in the 1960s, ran for president in the 1970s, kind of with that same kind of mentality, right? This idea that if I'm say all these things enough times, if I'm if I preach to that I'll be successful. David Duke, again, ran for president, or attempted to run for a couple different offices, as Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan, being like, this is the avenue. So what we have to understand is, like, not only is this something he's believing, but there are other people like him. Like, he's the first experiment of many folks that are sitting around here saying that if he can be successful, I can be successful too.
Can I?
That's what's scary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I was sitting there watching it, and back to what Ron, you were just talking about Ron DeSantis. I just saw a video that was about, it said it was 57 years ago, and this older white woman came on, and she was like, "Yeah, I had some good Negroes in my house, and and she nursed my son, she nursed my daughter, and like we're not removed from this stuff."
Not at all.
And we have to really open our eyes to go like, and people want you to forget this stuff. They want, oh, it just was a long time ago. Well, what you concerned about? Why you don't want us to know this stuff in schools? Because you might see your mammy or your pappy on that video or something, and you're going, I thought mama, and pawpaw were good people, and you find out they weren't.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Well, to keep the conversation going, what do you all think about the 5 brothers who were arrested?
Listen, when I
They need their ass whooped.
when I put up the hashtag defund police, I didn't say just defund white police.
Right.
Right.
I mean, what I mean by that is this is really an institutional problem. A belief that once you put on that badge, that somehow it makes you, greater
Above
than
the law.
and that, and the video is supposed to come out today. I don't plan on watching it, but just from what the chief's description
You're right.
during the interview, just the chief of police in Memphis, you heard her description. She's like, mind you, we're talking about a 30-year veteran police officer. She's like, I ain't never seen nothing like this in my life. And I'm sitting there like, that's a level of brutality that those brothers really had it out for that man. Like it's crazy.
But it also says that what could have made them go to that extreme? And then you don't know. I mean, it might be a little more corruption. Might be swift justice. Might be because they're black. But usually they put on duty. They're put on paid leave. These dudes do not pass go straight to jail.
Exactly.
So now, maybe that was done to appease the public, and maybe they'll let the investigation go by. But I think it's a deeper corruption within that, and it got to be something more than just stopping somebody getting pissed off, beating them to death.
But I for Dana, as somebody who's won a badge, been inside, and in terms of the work that you did, you have brothers, I'm sure, who antagonized you.
Yeah, Janae.
At all kinds of things.
Too much.
Like, it really does call into question, like, for all 5 of them to be
exactly
and converge on that man, what is the thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you've got to have a level of not only hate in your heart, but the belief, like a level of inhumanity in the person that you're doing it to.
Listen, wrong is wrong. I don't care, black, white, green, purple. You got that badge on. You're here to protect and serve. Wrong is wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying that, but what I'm saying is that for all 5 of them to go, because usually you have one person that has the sense to be like, hey, that's enough.
Say stop.
So for all of them to just go with it's something deeper than a traffic stop. That's just my opinion.
Do you feel like it's even worse though because they were black and he was black?
No, I mean, corrupt is corrupt. It ain't.
I think it was worse. I think
I do too. I would have to agree with you.
But I mean, Jessica, if you look at it,
Kendrick and I were having this conversation earlier today. I have a little echo. Sorry, we were having this conversation this morning, and I was just like, man, think about all we've been through when it comes to police brutality and us steady, trying to fight the good fight of, they keep killing us. They keep doing injustices to us. And when we say that, we're always referring to white cops, inflicting these injustices upon people from Black and brown communities. So then to see that same level of atrocity occur by somebody who looks like you, I'm not gonna lie. It took me somewhere else because I was like, dang.
I would say that
Where
I
are
would say
y'all?
that I'm surprised.
Like,
I would say I'm surprised, but I would also say I'm not surprised, simply from the fact that these type of
We're
actions
not watching
goes
it.
back
I'm
right.
not watching it.
We're not
It
watching
goes
it.
back to a self-hate that has been embedded in us since the days of slavery and Jim Crow. So while there's a part of me that is a little taken back, and you say it is a little bit more reprehensible because it's quote unquote a black
They probably
badge.
agree
You
with
got
me,
You
though.
you ain't been used a big word so long. We almost missed it, Miles.
Correct.
We almost missed it, Miles.
it is
Oh,
a
did he
bit
say something? I
reprehensible.
didn't hear. Oh.
I'm not shocked, man, because this is no different than the dynamic of the house Negro and the field Negro. It's no different than the dynamics that and which have been embedded in us where we have been classically conditioned in our mind to hate our brother for whatever reason, whether it's because he has a lighter skin tone, whether it's because he's educated and made it out the hood, whether it's because he's a family man and trying to live righteously and I'm a street dude. Like, these are dynamics that have played out for centuries in our communities. And at the end of the day, the message continues to be promulgated that we hate each other, regardless.
I'm gonna add to that.
Promo gained it.
I want to add to that.
Miles
Can you
came
hear
back
me?
with a vengeance today, boy.
Hello?
Hello?
Is my microphone working? Can
I'm
y'all hear me?
speaking.
Go ahead.
I'm speaking.
I was asking, could you hear me? I didn't. I wasn't sure. I think
He's
I
speaking.
My
the
goodness,
microphone
bro,
right
you
here.
came with a new word in 2023.
I think that there also is a level of family, and this doesn't necessarily have to do with what you were saying, Miles, but I do believe that as family, if I'm anywhere, if not so much in Miami Gardens or in Atlanta, but if I am somewhere that doesn't necessarily have a majority of Black people who look like me, I do know when I see them, I acknowledge them because I'm happy to see them. And don't let them have some kind of HBCU attire on or something. I'm really going to be very outgoing with that person just because I don't necessarily see them all the time. So with that being said, it to me makes me disappointed when I do frequent a Black business and they're not up to par with their standards and how they are conducting themselves. It hurts. Now, if I go to another type of restaurant and they don't look like me and they own it and they're doing the same thing, I can't necessarily really say that I care. I don't care about it, but I will say that it doesn't affect me. So in the same breath, for non-Blacks to treat us a certain way, yes, I'm angered, but it hurts more when they look like me.
Understood.
Because I think I can equate it to maybe there's this relational situation that's going on that's unsaid.
like maybe that's your auntie or your your grandma or like somebody like you say that you can relate to,
Right.
and it's like, really, you gonna do that?
You gonna do that?
Yeah.
But
Well,
look,
I mean-
all skin folk ain't kin folk now. Let's
I mean, you're
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's
but-
true.
Yeah.
And I guess on the flip side of that, when you know, you look at a lot of people dealing with law enforcement, and you talk to a lot of guys, and they were treated worse by the Black officer with the white officer.
That's true.
And that's happened to me before. Absolutely.
Hey.
And a
Real
lot of
talk.
times,
That's
a lot
real.
of times it's like that. And I don't, like I said, I don't think this guy. I think it's something deeper. But when they walk up, and I guess Muhammad Ali said it best, is like, if there's 10,000 snakes coming and 200 of them for me, and I don't know, I got to treat all of them the same.
Yeah.
And that's what it has become, even with us wearing uniforms, and that's sad. But that's how they fit in a lot of times. See, I speak from the prison system, so it's totally different when you go on them cells. Because you ain't got nothing around your waist. You can't look, you got to hold your own for 30 seconds. So if you outside the box and you got a real person, a real officer like me or somebody else, okay, you're going to talk the talk. You're going to walk the walk for a minute. So that dude make you shut up. Now we're going to get him off you. But on the streets, it's totally different. And it's, like I said, I ain't never been a police officer, so I can't speak on their behalf. But I can speak on the corruption and what you're supposed to do when you got a uniform on and you got a badge on and you take an oath and they went outside of it, black, white, or whatever. Do what you got to do to them. Put them away.
Hey, man, to your point, Dana, I have never in my life been given a reprieve by a black officer.
And that's sad.
Capacity.
Terrified.
Never.
You all are reminding me of that movie. Is it Compton? What was
it was Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood.
No,
Boys in the Hood.
that's funny. No, it wasn't. It was the story of. It was the story of Easy
about OG Bobby Johnson.
Straight out of Compton.
Straight out of Compton.
Yeah.
Remember when they rolled up on them?
Yeah.
Standing in front of the studio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh
absolutely.
yeah. Oh
I've
yeah.
never,
Yes.
Any like so when I became grown, when I say grown, that means a job with benefits. When I had to start dressing with a shirt and tie, I remember getting stopped. I remember getting stopped by a white officer in Coral Gables. But I'm dressed shirt and tie, professional attire. He came to my window. I rolled down. Y'all already know I got them 10% tints. Rolled down. He saw me and he was like, "Oh," he said, "Sir, I just want to let you know that you made a wrong turn. Listen, I see you." He saw my badge. He was like, "I see you work for the airport. Listen, you just can't turn here. Have a nice day. Let me go." I was dead in the wrong, like dead to rights. Made an illegal U-turn, and he could have easily given me a ticket and did not.
Who was this? It was a black cop?
That was a white cop. Coral Gables.
Do y'all remember the story I told y'all about with the white state trooper? I never got his badge number, or I guess I could look it up on the report. And that man made that little boy, the little white boy, come back to the car and apologize to me. You don't call her out of her name. You say you are sorry.
Yeah.
That blew me away.
Here's the crazy juxtaposition. We're coming home from the Trayvon Martin. It was like a Trayvon Martin ceremony. We're coming back home from that. I get stopped by a black FHP officer. I got my mama, my wife in the car. I'm dressed, shirt and tie. I got on my Sunday best.
Wait, are you coming back?
We were all in the car
6 years ago. Is this the one where Lateef and Roy were honored?
Yes.
Okay.
We were all in the car.
Yeah. I'm coming back. He gave me that ticket.
And he was dead wrong too. Again, he forgot to say that.
Yeah.
Miles was wrong.
Miles was wrong.
Go on, Bobby. Next
topic. Deserved that ticket. That's what she did.
That's a surprise. That's a surprise.
So did y'all hear about Eddie Murphy?
No.
What happened?
Oh, Eddie Murphy say, "I am coming out of retirement."
Oh.
Yes.
I wonder if he's
another Beverly Hills cop.
Oh
no,
he is
doing that.
He's talking stand
up,
okay, and performing and singing.
But he been saying that for the past 2 years though.
I'm wondering if now people are going to show up because it's Eddie Murphy, right? But I'm wondering if he's lost his, like, you missed that
his niche.
I
No,
don't think so.
No. But if he is, which one? Oh, Dave Chappelle. I'm sure Dave Chappelle didn't learn this by himself. When they're not doing larger shows, they still go to those little.
They do hang out at those little.
Yeah,
those little
they test their material.
Like
Yeah. I don't think Eddie's just gonna come out and just come all green.
But I have a hard time believing that that Eddie Murphy is at the local comedy club.
I didn't say that.
I have a hard time believing that, Ms. Morgan. You walk into the Miami Improv and
But he's not.
Eddie Murphy at the bar just
Right.
sipping a drink.
Right. Would that be a sight to see?
Eddie Murphy stopped at Carlos to do his jokes.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. That would be
I don't see
something.
it. I mean, but you never know.
I ain't
So,
seen him. I ain't looking at Eddie Murphy.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of jokes, yes.
Yeah, I heard about this on the way home.
Well, go ahead. Tell us, Ebony, what happened?
Oh no, they both are fired.
Oh,
Both been let go.
You're
but
fired.
they said that they're serious
Listen.
about their love. So
They didn't do nothing wrong.
yeah,
I don't think
what's
they
the
did anything
justification
wrong.
for firing?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do anything wrong.
Sir, what exactly do you mean they didn't do anything wrong?
They didn't, because they were both separated from their spouses. And the
No,
problem
TJ was
is,
still married.
Sir, but you're still married, sir.
no, listen. The problem is he's black, she's white. That's the problem. That's the
You
problem.
think
That's
the
what they see as a problem.
I don't know if that's the problem.
The problem is
You
they
see
That's
that all
exactly
the
what the
time.
problem is. That's exactly what the problem is. We wouldn't be
But
talking
there
about
are people who are on TV who are married. Look at Mario. Mario's wife sits in with him quite frequently. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Mario Lopez.
Mario Lopez.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're already married. The problem is none of them have signed official document. The divorce is
So
not
are
final.
we saying that to work in an establishment, you have to be above board?
No, what I think we're saying is that two people that are married that work for the same company should not be frolicking around.
No,
What
that's
you-
not
no, what
true.
you really saying is he's black.
Miles, use the word,
He's
Miles.
white.
Miles,
You
He
should not
can't
be
have
frolicking around in
That's
entanglement.
what it is. They
No,
don't
that's
like
That's
it.
what that is.
Those two
Here it
together.
is.
That's the problem.
But you know,
They
but
was
Roy,
black
you know what?
They both
No.
were married, and now
Roy,
everybody's
Roy,
If he was black
you
and she
right.
was black, we would be talking
And
about
we
it. If
right.
he was white and she was white, we would be talking about it. The problem is,
I
America
still
does not
think we
want to
would
see
be. I
that
still think
black
we would
man
be
with
talking
that
about
white
it.
woman. That's the problem. That's what they see the problem.
Listen, Roy. Let me say this.
I agree with you, Roy, but I
You
still
can't
think
talk,
we'd be
Miles.
talking
You had
about
to-
it if they both was. If they
me
both
say-
was white, I still think we'll be talking about it because of the
let me say this, Roy.
circumstances.
I agree with you that the fact that it's a interracial entanglement
That's
that
exactly
does
what it is.
add a level of salaciousness.
That's exactly
He
what
wanted
it's
to
called,
say that.
racist.
It does.
doing the
Because
same
it's
thing.
interracial entanglement, it does. But I am gonna say
Go
that.
sell that house. Go sell that house.
But I am gonna say that at the end of the day, sir, you worked in HR. You know those actions are frowned upon. Nobody likes it. Nobody like it. It is frowned upon by the establishment when two co-workers.
three.
It's only white. It's
Four.
not white. It's only the black men who are getting in trouble for it. The basketball
Right.
coach.
He took the heat.
DJ
He took the heat.
Who's
No,
the
but
third
now
one?
he's
Maybe they
starting
need
with
more
like-
training
what's
like
the
them
other guy named
policemen
who
with
had-
that white
he's
woman that
starting to
had that.
look like Matt Lauer
Never mind.
by having
Oh,
multiple
he's talking about the one that.
He
the
was-
one
Wait a minute,
that-
wait a minute.
Matt
Wait,
lingered for a
wait,
long
wait,
time
he
before they
Matt
did anything
Lauer.
to him. It was still on
I said
air
now
before
he's
they did anything to him.
starting to look like he's showing a pattern of being with multiple women on the set.
Well, dog, who's selling
in the
houses?
room,
My
not
goodness.
not that part, but the
Oh,
part of having
Yeah.
multiple
My dog
women.
Matt had a panic room.
I was about to say.
My dog had a
you know,
kill
that
switch.
was not a little
First of all,
overstatement.
you can't
My dog had a panic. Look at
Listen,
the
you
white.
can't say my dog. He ain't got nothing to. Don't even put him in the same breath. He's not even working.
Hey, Roy.
He's a
Dog had a
loser.
kill switch on him, boy. You ain't going nowhere in this
Hey,
one.
Miles, he hit the button up under the desk and all the doors locked.
I'm talking everything go chink.
Listen, Matt Lauer needs to rot. That's what he needs to do.
Speaking of Matt,
What did Matt
Matty
Barnes
Barnes.
do? What
He spit on
happened?
somebody.
Matt
He
said,
spit on his fiance's ex-husband.
Ex-husband, yeah.
Is his fiance's ex-husband or is it?
Yeah,
Ex-husband.
No,
Ex-fiance's
his fiance's. No, his fiance's ex-husband.
So then why is this a story? They not
because
even-
I think that she said something about his name at an
About Matt?
inappropriate time.
Well, the dude's suing Matt for spitting on him.
Yeah, I saw that. I did.
I
I saw that.
agree, Belinda. I agree.
It's gonna be over soon. she's already said that
romance
she didn't
without
see.
finance is a nuisance.
No, but she's already said that she didn't know that she was the latest victim. So
But
it's not gonna last long.
Can we just talk about how Matt Barnes got a fetish for messy situations? Can we just talk about that?
He does. He does.
It's like, he got that. He got that.
Deal with the best relationships. He's trying to grow.
He got that same issue Richard Pryor used to have, where he'd be like on the chase, and then all of a sudden, as soon as the chase is over, it'd be like, oh, I don't like you no more.
You know the challenge that Matt Barnes, the challenge he has, he always gets the worst end of it. Because the first time he got in his car and went to the house to get Derek Fisher.
He didn't get the worst of that.
Man, Derek Fisher got the worst of
that.
No.
Did they fight?
Listen,
did they fight? Fight ain't the word.
Beat him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
and then this time you get worse with too. You get sued. Like you got to learn from your mistakes. Like you can't. You can't be in a dude's face and spit on his face in the middle of a game. It's a Niners Cowboy game, and you there. Come on, man. You got to be smarter than that.
What happened?
I agree.
They got kicked out of the game.
Oh no,
they wasn't actually in the game.
Documented. It's just documented.
They were at the game.
They were at the game. They went inside.
But wait a minute. Why the three of y'all was at the game?
Ebony, it's a public. It's a public event.
Football too, Rose. What are you
They
talking
weren't
about?
at the game together.
But I'm saying, if they're at okay, wait a minute. They were at the Cowboy games in the Cowboy Stadium.
They weren't together, babe.
No, it was at the 49ers Stadium.
Okay, well, any stadium. I mean, the stadium is really big. How did they?
I think they're sitting in the same section.
First of all, it was probably a Find Your iPhone app, and that was.
You are so bad. So bad.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, okay, yeah, my fiance and my ex-husband can be at a football game, but I'm thinking about this huge stadium. What are the chances of us crossing paths so that he can spit on him?
Yeah, but y'all are, but to a certain extent, y'all are. I'm not gonna say y'all celebrities, but y'all high-profile individuals. Y'all might be in the same suite. Y'all might be in the same box.
They were in the same section.
Something to that. To
Or maybe
they were in the same.
We'll be in those same. See, this is what I was getting to. See, that's the problem right there.
I didn't want to be the one to say this. I didn't want to be the one to say this on the show today.
I think you're gonna say what I was trying to say.
But Matt Barnes got a lot of light skin energy, is all I'm trying to say. So I'm trying to overcompensate for getting picked on as a kid.
He's got to learn.
All I know is that he whooped Derek Fisher ass about his wife. And them
That's not what I heard.
Derek sure did.
Oh,
you gonna learn today. You gonna learn today that you ain't Deion Sanders.
What are we gonna do with you, Ed?
Right.
Listen.
What is we gonna
do?
I
like the fact that he started a revolution.
How did the protest go? The students walk out. How that go?
Are you listening to what you're saying?
I just did.
I'm not trying to work. I'm not trying to go somewhere and not be accepted as a coach. If you don't want me, you don't want to serve me in a restaurant. You don't want me in your house. You ain't even got to worry about me trying to stay there. Goodbye.
That's fine. But he brought awareness to DCU.
I think the bigger conversation, Roy, is the light that has now been shined on the inadequate condition.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Those revolution.
Like, I didn't know it was that deep. Like, they showed a clip where they're playing against UM last year, and one of the kids runs off, and the dude is like, man, let me get my helmet. They're sharing helmets. How unsanitary is that? Like, where are we playing football?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know that? I played Pop Warner football 5 years. I never had to share.
Wow. I'm just trying to give you a warning. Don't go too far. My mother-in-law is watching the show. Okay. She will defend her school. You don't want none of that.
I will say this.
I mean, that's fine, but a state is a state.
In all things, there is something that is good about it. And to your point about the fact that all of the inadequacies, the lack of funding,
the mold.
Well, they were talking about Bethune before, Janae.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was talking about
the mold.
The
We talking
president
about
said it was
Bethune right
mildew.
here on the
It was
show.
mildew.
You mean the
And
mildew miles? The mildew
I honestly
miles.
think
Yeah.
that it got
Mold,
mildew.
mildew, that's
Mildew.
semantics, sir. It's
It
the
got-
same
It's
thing.
all the same thing, right?
it
Tomato,
got
tomato.
worse after the hurricane because
We
as
were
we
talking
were
about
during the
Nah,
hurricane,
Dwight is
Bethune
saying that
really
as he's
took a
sitting in
beating.
the FAMU lounge.
Listen,
But listen, one last thing
Right.
on this. One last thing on this. And he wasn't able to come on the show. The beauty of this is that there are some very high profile alum from Bethune who've now been enlightened. What is happening now is an endowment fund is finally being set up for Bethune, which had never been done before. I believe the school that has the most is either Hampton or Howard. I can't remember which one it was.
Probably.
I
I
know
heard it's gonna be a Cash App endowment though.
I know Cash App got bank accounts and the right number.
That's why I'm riding with Ed Reed. That's why they need to get a brother the
Well,
job.
you know what, though? I'm
That's
gonna say
why
this
they need
too.
to give him
I'm
the
gonna say
They
this
need
as
to give
well.
him a job. Are you kidding me?
Huh?
Yeah.
Are you
I think
kidding me?
I think he wants that job no more.
Why
Nah,
would you want him to have a job?
Ed Reed,
Why not?
Ed Reed really what he's really done in this in a matter of 25 days is ruin his legacy.
Ruin his legacy?
I don't
No,
think
listen,
that.
I would not listen.
No, he didn't, Roy.
Potentially,
I disagree.
no, listen, because it's a
Absolutely.
lot of people forget about the stuff you've done in the past. What have you done lately?
Nah.
And all they're gonna see is Ed
Brought
Reed crying.
awareness to how messed up BCU
That's
is.
it.
Okay, you messy and you can't control your emotions.
Yes,
Look at
because I think
No, but
what
it needed to be said, Miss
As a football
Monkins.
player.
No,
Exactly.
that's not what they're
You
gonna
would
remember,
be dead
though,
from
man.
the
Kids go
football
out and
coach.
protest.
You know what?
From the football coach.
How
I mean,
long?
well,
How
why
long
not
were they
the
going to
coach?
go on in those conditions before somebody?
We're talking about two different things. But
It's-
we were
it's-
talking about Ed Reed's legacy.
Correct.
That's what we were talking about.
It's not tainted.
That has nothing to do. That has nothing to
Potentially,
do
though.
with
Potentially,
Bethune
though, Kendrick.
being able to be sufficient. Though to me, those are two completely separate issues.
But I think it's synonymous in the fact that you hired him to lead your football team. He gets there and finds out all of these deplorable conditions, and nobody has said a thing.
Who hadn't said
Nobody has said a
nothing?
thing. Nobody. Nobody
Yeah,
has
but
said a
here's the
thing.
thing. But here's the thing,
My
Miles.
question is,
I
Everybody
will say
remembers
this,
how he
Miles.
went about it, though,
I
Miles.
can have Bobby
Look.
pull the show up. We've been talking about Bethune for about a year now,
Yeah, I
and the
know
fact that
it.
they needed help
Right.
and
But I
funding.
don't think people knew.
Where
to
has
what
the
extent,
alumni
though,
been in
Miss
that
Monkins.
process?
Yeah.
I don't think
At the
people knew to
classic,
what
yep,
extent.
That's it.
And what I said before was that there is a gift and a beauty in everything. Now
Oh, yeah.
the masses care, and now the masses may be doing something about it because of this gentleman having this conversation. But that doesn't mean that he should stay a head football coach. You don't even have
He's a head
leadership
coaching job ever again
qualities.
at all.
Wow. Really?
Nope.
Yeah, he
disagree.
will.
Not at
Well, I
that level.
disagree
No,
with
he
that,
won't.
too.
No, he won't.
Dwight.
Because here's the thing.
Dwight.
White.
He will.
As
Wait, I
much
miss
as
Dwight.
much as I like
They'll-
Ed Reed,
They'll
I
put
like
Hill
Ed Reed
Wildcats
as
in
a
the
player.
subject. I don't know.
I think what he did was he that's not leadership qualities going online and talking bad about the university that just hired you.
Talking about your
And they will hold that
Right.
against him. They're gonna hold that
Right.
against him. I promise you.
Right.
That is true.
Mary
But I
Berry
think,
Smoke
but I
Crack,
think
he
the
got his
most
job
important question here
Ed Reed will
is
be a head coach.
Cash
where
App.
has
won't.
the alumni
Maybe
been
at a high
in
school
this
level, but not at a
process?
college level. He won't be.
He will be.
Okay.
Where
let me-
have the alumni
Yeah,
been in
At
this
Classic,
process?
E-Dub.
So what about the young men that play?
I said they're waiting to give their money at Classic. That's it. That's what I'm trying to do. Classic and Homecoming. That's it.
That's unacceptable.
And then Cash
Ed
App.
Reed, listen, Ed Reed will be a meme forever. I promise you.
I disagree.
That's one thing
I
for
don't
sure.
know about that.
That
disagree.
moment will be a meme. That's what they do. They'll take them same memes he was crying and they're gonna make him a meme.
Yeah,
And I think he will not. He'll have if he gets a head coaching job, it will only be at a high school level. It will not be at a college level.
I vehemently disagree because I think he was the catalyst for a movement. So I'm a disagree.
Definitely
A
was.
That's not
movement,
how
you
people-
are absolutely right. But that
Yes.
does not equate to him being a head football coach.
But he'll be one.
He'll be
Yeah.
one.
I mean, but
I'm not saying that he is or
the
isn't.
kids
I
stood
care
by
less
him.
about him. I'm just
The kids
saying
stood
that
behind him, Ms. Martins.
The
They
players-
endorsed
because
him.
they went there for him.
Yeah.
They went there for him, and they should be behind him. They should voice their opinion. And
Well,
I
that's
think
not
that-
leadership. Tell me what it is.
I mean, I
Listen,
think
the
the
Leadership
leadership
doesn't
went out
have
the
to
window.
mean if
Schools
you
ran
said
hard.
whether or not you
Film
agree.
what was going on. They're going to question his leadership, Miles.
Man, you
'Cause that
can't
was
be a
not
leader if
leadership
somebody
what he
not
did.
willing to follow, and clearly those kids were willing to follow him.
I mean, the Florida City Razorbacks
Clearly.
look like they
I've
might.
seen some.
Exactly.
Hey, Dwight. Dwight. Hey, what say, Dwight?
Right.
Hey,
You gonna sit yourself down.
hey, Dwight. Dwight.
Hey,
Dwight, what'd you say? If you don't want mold all in your room, if you don't want to share helmet, come to FAMU.
Come to FAMU.
come on.
That's hilarious.
Come to FAMU.
Yes,
And-
it
and-
does.
and here's the thing- here's the thing. I'm
Howard
not
does
saying he's
have
not a
the
head
largest
coach.
endowment followed
Yeah.
by Spelman.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
Spelman is
not
number
saying
2.
that he doesn't have the qualities.
Is A&T
didn't.
number 3?
Hampton.
Where is
No.
A&T?
Seven.
A&T's gonna
Number
be further
Not
down
on the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
because
6, 7.
because A&T state
8, 9, 10.
supported.
Yeah.
What did you say, Dwight?
I was saying state supported schools tend to have lower endowments. You got to
No,
remember.
our in that. Listen, you looking at Ebony because I did this when. Nice transition. I did this when we were researching for HBCU homecomings, which is coming to your screen on February the 15th.
Woo woo, let's get it.
Yes, we
That
traveled
Georgia
from
State
Hampton to Howard to Grambling to FAMU.
GS.
To A&T, Bethune, and Jackson State. Travel to all those wonderful, illustrious colleges and universities.
You know the thing that got me about watching because I watch it over and over again, our documentary, and I'm watching Miles trying to give a couple that's been married for about 60 years, trying to give them advice on marriage. I about fell out my seat.
I didn't give them advice. Stop that, Roy. There you go. Like that is so cap. That's such cap right there.
Hyperbole,
Well,
Miles.
you know,
Hyperbole,
you
Miles.
just lied on
y'all need to
you just
keep
lied
going.
on
Y'all
me,
need to
dog.
keep
You see how you just
holding
lied
hands.
on me? See how you just lied on me? You see? You see?
Oh, I love you, Miles.
So you just lied on me, dog. I don't appreciate that, man.
Advice.
I don't appreciate that. But that was a good clip, though, man. That was a good clip, man. I found that
Beautiful clip.
couple, man. They have been married and they were cute too, man. They were cute. Captone.
So A&T has $178 million endowment. Wait a minute. Let me see something.
That's number. Oh yes, number
Wait,
7.
What? How much y'all have?
It's less than you, Captain. Oh, blackity black. Can you put some light on you?
You can hear it in the question when he asked the question. You already knew it was less.
Talking crap. Jeez. I said the top one was either Howard or Hampton. Goodness. Were you not paying attention to the
He
show?
just got on.
No, Latif. Hampton is
It is
underneath
Hampton.
Spelman. Hampton is under Spelman.
Hold on.
Just had to let you know.
Hampton is actually above Spelman because ours is a grassroots deal. You guys have got donations of millions of dollars. We grew ours.
Who cares?
Exactly.
I'm
The
a
money is
Bison
still
number
green.
one.
And we got $570.8 million while you're sitting at 379.9.
Steve,
On
send
the
me
real
Hampton's
though,
cash
like,
out too. Steve.
All black schools need to do
I need Hampton's.
need
I
to
need
get on
Hampton's
the
cash
radio.
out.
Need to be
Agree.
sensitive.
That's
We
one.
need
That's
Right.
true, Miles. I
Hey,
agree.
y'all don't want me to bring USF in this conversation.
Ebony, send me the list.
We do
Send me
not.
the list.
We absolutely don't.
Oh, okay.
I want to see it.
Dang, Dwight.
Rest in peace, Bill Russell.
Y'all being so fucking bad.
Oh God! I told you Dwight be firing shots, man. We just and laugh at you.
What did he do? Oh, that's right, Dana. You are Hampton.
No, I'm Howard. My wife is Hampton. I'm half Hampton. But the real number one is my part, Howard. So there's only one number one. I'm just put that
All
out.
right. Oh, did y'all see how that boy came for me about that comment I made. I said, "Who is the real HU?" Sheesh.
Yeah.
You would have thought that I had said something really.
His mama.
Yes. Sheesh. My goodness.
It is a law.
There is, it is a law.
Oh, yeah.
My dog.
I wish.
I might get Shay Shay.
You know what? I wish.
Shay.
I wish.
Shay Shay.
Uncle Shay Shay.
I wish the
No,
Memphis
you
Grizzlies. I
ain't
wish
right.
the Memphis Grizzlies would have jumped him. I really do. I really wish they would have jumped him.
They'd have been missing some
Why?
players. They'd have been missing some players.
Yeah. They're gonna come up short. They're gonna come up short. That's what I was
I'm
saying.
gonna tell y'all right now, as a
Boy,
former
said
basketball
Shay
player,
Shay.
we do not want to fight. Okay,
No.
we talk a
former
lot of
tight-
trash, but we
Former
ain't trying
tight
to fight.
end. No.
Yeah, we
I
Look
wish
at
they
man.
would have jumped them.
Only the first dude I seen
Why you
as an
mad,
NBA
Miles?
player that was willing to throw hands was
Ron
Chris.
Artest.
No, I said the first player, and that
Oh.
was Chris
Ron
Charles.
Artest ain't want none of Ben Wallace.
Chris Childs when he two-piece Kobe.
listen.
And Kobe,
Yeah,
Kobe retaliated and hit nothing but air.
I remember that, but he
I think Chris Child picked
kind of sucker punched him though. T.
He
kinda
No,
sucker
you can't get sucker
No,
punched when you in
he
somebody's
was right there in
face.
front of him.
Yeah,
And
you
let me say this,
gotta-
and he wasn't the first. Charles Oakley was really them guys.
I
that
think
era,
we've had that discussion. Oakman is
those guys really fight. They fought.
I mean,
Larry
you
Bird,
talking about Oakley and you
Moses
talking about
Malone.
Mason. I mean, you
Yeah,
talking
those
about
guys
Oakley and
fought.
Mason.
They fought.
Dr. J, Xavier McDaniels, all them fought.
Oh,
Yeah.
Doc
Shout out
fought,
to the
bro. They
shout out to the
fought.
NBA.
Kareem fought Bruce Lee.
Oh, Janae has a question. She said,
And they
what
want
did
to
he
know who
do?
the Shay Shay
Shay
fight.
Shay got
What
up
did he
and
do?
started
What did
arguing.
Shay
He
Shay
started
do?
arguing with the Grizzlies team.
The whole team?
How did this?
No,
Listen,
He wasn't
but
arguing with the
let's
whole team. He was talking
let's
to
remember
Dylan
how it
Brooks.
started.
What did Shay
He was
Shay
talking
say?
to
Dylan Brooks was over there calling that man a blogger.
Yeah.
Called him a blogger.
And he said F
Called him a
you.
pedestrian.
Yeah. And so
And he told him F you.
at that
So
moment, you gotta
Shay
remember,
said F you too.
like we talk about HBCUs, but remember Shannon went to Savannah State.
Savannah State.
They
Right.
get different in Georgia, in that part of Georgia. You know, what I'm saying?
They
they don't take. They
I
don't
still
take the comments
wish
lightly.
the Memphis Grizzlies would have jumped them. That's how I really wish that would have played out.
Why? Why,
And,
Miles?
and you
Why?
also thought that
Why?
Ed Reed was a leader. So they go right
No.
Right.
Ed Reed is a
And
leader.
he,
hand in
listen,
hand.
Jessica, and he also thinks Stephen A.
Ed
got a
Reed's a
cool.
leader on the football field, Miles.
Hand
Ed
in hand.
Ed Reed's a leader in real life, sir.
That too,
Not
but it doesn't mean you can be a leader, but not necessarily a head coach. I just want you to know that.
Fair enough. I mean, that's a fair point, but I still think he. I think
Mitch
he would've been
Richardson.
all right. We would have.
What is all this? What's doing?
Sorry.
They
You know
kicked
what?
off the plane.
Back in the news.
Just snatched off the plane. T, was she on your plane, Latif?
Yeah, man. I tried to keep her on that, but she kept running them out.
Oh my goodness, Latif.
However, I did defend her, and I said that she was in the correct. She was in the right. It's just that it's all in the delivery.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mm.
So what did she do though?
Got kicked off American Airlines.
Got kicked off American Airlines.
No, that's what happened to her. I'm saying, what did she do? What was
she was doing a selfie video, and she turned. Oh no, she didn't turn, but she was doing a selfie video, and I think a flight attendant guy said something to the effect of, "Oh, I don't want to be in your video," and she was like, "No, you are in mine. I ain't filming you. You happen to be in my video." And then the flight attendant was trying to tell her to shut it off, and she was like, "What am I doing wrong? I ain't doing nothing wrong. Y'all bothering me. Y'all bothering me." And so when she turned, then
It's become a trend.
that's
But how did she say y'all bothering me? That should be the question.
Well, before we go there, I just want to say the NAACP has issued travel advisory to folks about American Airlines specifically, because this has been an ongoing trend, whether it was OBJ, Shikari,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Tamika Mallory about a year ago. So it's gotten to the level where the NAACP is like, Americans got some DI training they need to do because
Yeah.
they have this thing about kicking off black folks.
Yeah, and it's getting to be I mean, it's going to be, redundant. I mean, you don't want to be known as that airline for kicking off black folk whenever. So if that's your answer to any time a black person has a disagreement with someone on a plane or a part of your crew, then you won't be in business long. I mean, the best thing is to do is just treat people like people and go and ask, hey, come here. Step out on the jetway with me. You're not kicked off the plane. I just want to talk to you away from everything. Now, tell me what's wrong. And then if they get all right, they say, hold on. Talk to me the way I'm talking to you.
Why can't we just get on the plane and sit down and shut up? Can we just do that?
You didn't say something, Miles. You didn't say something.
So as you know,
she wasn't talking about nobody.
Exactly.
They was bothering her, Miles.
This current generation, everything has to be either blog, posted, or what have you, and they got to be on IG. It got to do it for the gram.
Like so, I'm all for that, but I just don't like.
Hold on. Everybody look right here. I gotta put this on the ground. Everybody. Hold on. There we go. All right. Now we can go.
Think about how many videos you see on social media, people on planes, to talk about where they going to, how they flying, where they flying to. I mean, it happens all the time. So like, again, I would like to know the answer to that question too. What did she do wrong? If you can tell me where the wrongdoing was, then you might have a case. But if you can't say what she did wrong, then you are wrong. You are in the wrong.
Rose, when I get on the plane, I pray and then I get my pillow and
But that's you.
Miles, that's you, Miles. You talking about your own self.
You know how many people are in the US of A, or not even in the US of A, in the world
Miles.
that take flights? Just you're one person.
You tripping, Miles. And how old are you? And how old is Sha'Carri? What era is she in though? What era is she from?
I'm not advocating.
Here's what I think we're missing. I think what's happening is you see there's a level of black celebrity that's under attack. Like, I think what happens is when you see these folks that are recognized, they're already paying attention. Like,
you're probably right about that, Roy. That's a very good point. And that's why I tried to tell Miss Modkins.
Oh, I knew you were going to bring me in there.
You talking about her nephew? You talking about her nephew?
Pull Lil Meech to the side and say, hey, young man.
Don't be
young man.
Miles.
Young man.
Right.
Young
Bobby.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Wow. Is that what we're doing now?
Wow.
We doing that now?
Hey, Latif, you've gotten that before. You know how that feels.